When Emma's best friend, Sarah, suggested a solo vacation, Emma laughed. At 32, she had never traveled alone. Her job as a marketing executive kept her busy, and she enjoyed her predictable life in New York City. But a recent breakup had left her feeling unmoored. Sarah persisted, sending her links to beautiful destinations until Emma caved. She chose Italy, enchanted by the idea of exploring ancient ruins and sipping espresso in charming piazzas. She booked a 3-week trip, starting in Rome, with plans to visit Florence and Venice. As her departure date neared, Emma's excitement grew, mingling with a healthy dose of anxiety. She meticulously planned her itinerary, filling it with museum visits, walking tours, and culinary experiences. Her friends joked about her obsessive planning, but it calmed her nerves. She downloaded language apps, memorized key Italian phrases, and read travel blogs. Despite her meticulous preparations, a small part of her remained apprehensive about the unknown. On the morning of her flight, she kissed her cat goodbye, double-checked her apartment locks, and set off for the airport. Arriving in Rome felt like stepping into a dream. The city's energy was palpable, and Emma was instantly captivated by its beauty. Her first stop was the Colosseum, where she marveled at the ancient architecture. She took endless photos, eager to share her adventures on social media. That evening, she found a cozy trattoria and indulged in pasta carbonara and a glass of Chianti. As she savored each bite, she realized how liberating it was to dine alone, relishing her solitude. The next morning, she woke up early to beat the crowds at the Vatican museums. Wandering through the Sistine Chapel, Emma felt a profound sense of awe. She had read about Michelangelo's masterpiece, but seeing it in person was a different experience entirely. She spent hours exploring the vast collection of art, losing herself in the beauty of centuries-old creations. Later, she walked along the Tiber River, enjoying the gentle breeze and the vibrant street life. Her apprehensions about traveling alone began to dissipate, replaced by a growing sense of confidence. By the time she reached Piazza Navona, she was smiling freely, reveling in her newfound independence. One evening, while strolling through Trastevere, a lively neighborhood known for its nightlife, Emma stumbled upon a small art gallery. Drawn by the soft glow of lights and the hum of conversation, she ventured inside. The gallery was hosting an exhibition by a local artist, and the room was filled with vibrant, abstract paintings. As she admired the artwork, she struck up a conversation with a fellow visitor, a handsome man named Luca. They bonded over their appreciation for art. And before long, they were sharing stories and laughter as if they had known each other for years. Luca was an architect from Florence, in Rome for a project. His easy charm and warm demeanor put Emma at ease. They spent the rest of the evening together, exploring Trastevere's cobbled streets and sampling local wines. Emma was captivated by Luca's passion for his work and his deep love for his country. He offered to show her around Florence when she visited, and she eagerly accepted. As they parted ways that night, Emma felt a flutter of excitement. She hadn't expected to meet anyone special on this trip, but something about Luca felt different. The next few days flew by in a blur of sightseeing and new experiences. Emma visited the Pantheon, tossed a coin into the Trevi fountain, and enjoyed the panoramic views from the Spanish Steps. She tried her hand at making pizza in a cooking class and even attempted a few conversations in Italian with the locals. Everywhere she went, she felt a sense of wonder and joy. When it was time to leave for Florence, she felt a pang of sadness but also anticipation. She couldn't wait to see Luca again and explore a new city through his eyes. Florence was everything Emma had imagined and more. The city's rich history and stunning architecture took her breath away. Luca was a gracious host, guiding her through the winding streets and sharing fascinating stories about the city's past. They visited the Uffizi Gallery, where Emma was mesmerized by Botticelli's The Birth of Venus. Luca took her to hidden gems, like a quaint bookshop, tucked away in a narrow alley, and a family-owned gelateria with the best pistachio gelato she had ever tasted. Each day with Luca was an adventure, and Emma found herself falling for him. One afternoon, as they sat on a hillside overlooking Florence, Luca opened up about his life. He spoke of his love for architecture and his dream of designing sustainable buildings. Emma was struck by his passion and dedication. She shared her own dreams of starting a travel blog to inspire others to explore the world. Luca encouraged her, praising her writing skills and offering to help with the design. Their connection deepened with each passing day, and Emma felt a sense of belonging she hadn't felt in years. She realized she was falling in love with Luca. As their time in Florence drew to a close, Luca surprised Emma with a weekend trip to the Tuscan countryside. They stayed in a charming farmhouse surrounded by vineyards and olive groves. The beauty of the landscape took Emma's breath away. They spent their days exploring quaint villages, sampling local wines, and enjoying leisurely meals at rustic trattorias. One evening, as they watched the sunset over the rolling hills, Luca took Emma's hand and confessed his feelings. He told her he had fallen in love with her and couldn't imagine his life without her. Emma's heart swelled with emotion. She had never felt so sure of anything in her life. She confessed her own feelings, and they shared a passionate kiss as the sun dipped below the horizon. In that moment, Emma knew her life would never be the same. She had come to Italy seeking adventure and had found love instead. The realization was both exhilarating and terrifying, but as she looked into Luca's eyes, she felt a sense of peace. She knew they would find a way to make their relationship work, no matter the distance. Returning to Florence, Emma and Luca made plans for the future. They talked about their hopes and dreams, and how they could support each other. Emma decided to extend her trip, wanting to spend as much time with Luca as possible. She knew it meant taking a leap of faith, but she was ready. She felt a newfound sense of purpose and determination. Her friends back home were thrilled for her, and Sarah teased her about finding love on a vacation. Emma couldn't help but laugh, realizing how unpredictable life could be. With Luca's help, Emma started her travel blog. She documented her adventures in Italy, sharing stories and photos that captured the magic of her journey. Luca's architectural skills brought her vision to life, creating a beautiful and user-friendly site. The blog quickly gained followers, and Emma was thrilled by the positive feedback. She felt a renewed sense of confidence and fulfillment. Her relationship with Luca blossomed, and they supported each other's goals. Emma realized that meeting Luca had not only brought her love but also helped her discover her true passion. As Emma's departure date loomed, the thought of leaving Luca weighed heavily on her heart. They discussed their options, and Luca suggested she consider moving to Italy. The idea was both exciting and daunting. Emma loved her life in New York, but she couldn't imagine being away from Luca. After much contemplation, she decided to take the plunge. She would return to New York to tie up loose ends and then move to Italy. It was a bold move, but Emma felt ready. She was willing to take risks for the chance at true happiness. Back in New York, Emma found herself looking at her city with new eyes. She loved its vibrancy and energy but realized her heart was now in Italy. She resigned from her job, much to her boss's surprise, and began the process of packing up her life. Her friends threw her a farewell party, celebrating her new adventure. Emma felt a mix of sadness and excitement. Saying goodbye to her familiar life was bittersweet. but she knew she was embarking on a journey that would bring her true happiness. The day Emma boarded her flight back to Italy, she felt a sense of peace. She was ready to embrace her new life with Luca. As the plane took off, she thought about how much she had changed over the past few weeks. The solo vacation that had once seemed so daunting had transformed her life in ways she could never have imagined. She had discovered a new country, a new passion, and most importantly, a new love. Emma felt grateful for the journey and eager to see what the future held. Reuniting with Luca in Florence felt like coming home. They celebrated her return with a romantic dinner overlooking the Arno River. Emma marveled at how everything had fallen into place. She had found love and a new purpose, and she was excited to see where this path would lead. Luca introduced her to his family and friends, who welcomed her with open arms. Emma felt a deep sense of belonging. She was no longer a tourist but part of a community. She and Luca settled into a comfortable routine, balancing work and exploring Italy together. The travel blog flourished, and Emma was thrilled to receive messages from readers inspired by her journey. She collaborated with Luca on projects that combined their talents, creating a unique niche in the travel world. They traveled to new destinations, sharing their experiences and deepening their bond. Each trip brought new discoveries and adventures, reinforcing their love for each other. Emma felt a sense of fulfillment she had never known. She realized that taking risks and embracing the unknown had led her to the life she had always dreamed of. A year after Emma moved to Italy, Luca proposed to her in the heart of Florence. Surrounded by friends and family, it was a beautiful moment, and Emma was overwhelmed with joy. She said yes, knowing without a doubt that Luca was her soulmate. Their wedding was a celebration of love and adventure, held in the Tuscan countryside where their romance had blossomed. Emma's family flew in from the States, and she felt blessed to have everyone she loved in one place. It was a magical day, filled with laughter, tears, and heartfelt promises. As they settled into married life, Emma and Luca continued to explore new places and create beautiful memories. They bought a charming apartment in Florence, decorating it with pieces from their travels. Emma's travel blog continued to thrive, and she received invitations to collaborate with travel brands and tourism boards. Luca's architectural career flourished, and he was recognized for his innovative designs. They supported each other's dreams, finding joy in both their personal and professional lives. Emma felt grateful every day for the journey that had brought them together. Years passed, and Emma and Luca welcomed a baby girl into their lives. They named her Isabella, after Luca's grandmother. Becoming parents was a new adventure, filled with challenges and joys. They traveled as a family, showing Isabella the beauty of the world and teaching her to embrace new experiences. Emma's blog evolved to include family travel tips, and she loved sharing their stories with her readers. Watching Isabella grow and explore the world reminded Emma of her own journey, and she felt a deep sense of fulfillment. Emma often reflected on how much her life had changed since that fateful trip to Italy. She had discovered love, a new career, and a beautiful family. Her journey had been filled with unexpected twists and turns, but she wouldn't have had it any other way. She felt grateful for the courage to take that first solo vacation and for the incredible experiences that followed. Emma knew that life was unpredictable, but she had learned to embrace the unknown and find joy in the journey. She looked forward to the future with excitement and hope. As Emma and Luca celebrated their 10th wedding anniversary, they looked back on their incredible journey together. They had built a life filled with love, adventure, and shared dreams. Their home was a sanctuary of creativity and happiness, filled with laughter and the warmth of family. Emma felt a deep sense of gratitude for the life they had created. She knew that their love had been the catalyst for her transformation, and she was thankful every day for the serendipitous encounter in Rome that had brought them together. Emma's story became an inspiration for many. She received countless messages from people